Hello and welcome to the Melon Buffet podcast. I'm Tara.
And I'm Charlie. Hello.
And here we are back for Series 11. What's going on, lady? What's happening with you?
We're still locked down. What's happening with you?
We should be locked down, but we're not. Everyone's just pretending COVID's not a thing anymore, so it's all good. It's fine.
I think
fine.
we might be getting a little, but we're allowed to meet in up 4 people from 2 households outside. But it's Scotland, you know, so... I mean, the weather's been uncharacteristically nice recently, so I was I met 2 people for their wedding last week outside. But yeah, I think it's going to change again early April and then late April again, so... The end's in sight. Whether it stays there or not, it's a different fucking story, though. Wow. I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't leave my house anyway, so it doesn't really affect me much.
Me neither, but I'd like the choice. I'd like to be able to go to the pub.
It's my decision to stay home.
Yeah, I'd like to have plans to cancel. Or duck out of, or whatever. No. But yeah.
So... I don't know, we're back. We kind of had to fuck off at the beginning of the year with the New Year's treat because of just various technical problems and personal shit and schedules and whatever, but
yeah, it was a lost cause. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked the episode. I liked the contestants more than I thought I would. So yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, so hopefully they kind of branch out and have some more, unusual picks for contestants than just comedians and comedic actors. They can kind of branch out in the future because I thought everybody did brilliant.
Don't become one of them that's like, you get all these people every time at the start of a new series. I don't know all them people. It's going to be rubbish. They're scraping the barrel, and I just think, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? It's Taskmaster. They know what they're doing. It's always good. Yeah. You know,
I've already seen people complaining this series. Like one episode we've had, and they're really like, "Oh, this is crap," and these people suck. And I'm like, "Shut
I've not seen that.
Fuck
I saw
up.
A few people going, the only person I know from there is Lee Mack. This is going to be rubbish." And I'm like, just because you don't know who they are doesn't mean they're not good. Open your eyes. Like, how many people have you been introduced to through Taskmaster that you've now a fan of?
Exactly.
So, yeah, and Mike Wozniak's in this series. Like, we love Mike. And there's a lot of people loving Mike already. Have you seen the thirst posts? There's a lot.
I haven't, but catch up, man. We've been here for a while. Like I've
You've been tooting that horn for a bit, haven't you? So
exactly. Welcome to the club, folks.
Yeah, but it's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, like I didn't when they first announced this series, I didn't realize I knew who Charlotte Ritchie was. I didn't realize it because the name didn't ring a bell. Yeah. But then once I looked her up, I was like, oh yeah, of course I know who she is.
Yeah, she was in Fresh Meat and Ghosts.
And Call the Midwife, which is
I've never watched that
huge, like worldwide.
Yeah, I've not seen that one.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows who Lee Mack is, Mike Wozniak. I wasn't familiar with Sarah Kendall. But
no, she's the only one I wasn't that familiar with. I mean, I'd heard of her, but I'd never really seen any of her stuff. But I love her already. I think she's great.
And Jamali Maddox, I was not familiar with either, but he's shaping up to be a real interesting one, too.
He's funny. So. He's so funny. He was on... Do you listen to the Froth podcast, Rod Gilbert's podcast? Rod Gilbert and Sean Harry's podcast. And
once
Barry
in a while,
obviously.
my attention span doesn't.
He was on that
stretch to podcast.
a while back. He was really funny on that as well. So, yeah, I love them. I think they're all great.
Evidently, he had like a TV series called Hate Thy Neighbor, where he basically went and interviewed members of like hate groups.
Oh right, I've not seen that. I have to look
and I'm like, that's some ballsy shit, man. Yeah. So I want to check that out.
Like Louis Theroux, that's what he does. He just goes around causing bother, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, there's an American comedian, W. Kamau Bell, who had a show called United Shades of America, who did similar thing. He did other stuff surrounding race, but he would go talk to like white supremacists and things like that. Yeah. It takes fucking balls.
Yeah. Some of those people are crazy. Especially, they'll all have guns and shit over where you are, so.
Yeah. No shit.
Right then.
So, yeah, let's just get on with it and see how the fuck this goes. We got to get back into the groove. It's not your fault.
It's not. It's never your fault. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean my glasses while I'm going here. It's not working. Hang on.
At least I got new glasses.
Yeah, you can see now.
For weeks.
Okay, so on with the chat about the episode.
Prize task. Best thing you can carry, but only just. Charlotte started off with all of her bedding.
Yeah.
And, I mean, she's a dainty gal. I can see that. It's not heavy, but it's bulky.
Yeah, it's awkward, because if I tried to lift all of my bedding all at once, it'd be tough to get your arms all the way around it, I think. Especially if you left a duvet in the cover. So
Greg was not impressed.
No. I think he's kind of just set the tone with the first episode, and based on the interview that I read with her as well, that he's just going to bully her the whole time, which is, the Greg we know and love. So yeah, she's taking it well. Nice bedding though.
Yeah. And then Jamali had a slightly hot potato.
Better.
Not too hot. Better. Not too hot that you can't handle it. Slightly hot potato.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
sure.
It's fitting to the task. You can carry it, but only just. Because you'd be like...
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Lee came in with all three of his children, or we found out he couldn't give away his children, which is something every parent discovered at some point, that you have to keep them.
It was an effigy of his kids.
Yeah, so a representation of his children.
Modern art, if you will.
A mop and a bucket and a ball. And
yeah.
It was interesting. And then Mike came in with outside the box thinking with a tune, which we do have, and I will play for you right now. We're getting fancy on this show, right?
Facts about animals. Prawns are cannibals. If there's an elephant in the room, then you're in the wrong room. Cutting an earthworm in half makes you a sadist. I think it's worth repeating that prawns eat their babies and monkeys eat monkeys, but who gives them monkeys? Monkeys. And if you squash a wasp, it releases a chemical from the wasp that attracts people who tell you facts about wasps.
So, yeah, that was something.
I thought it was great. Brilliant introduction to Mike, especially for those people that have never seen him before. That's just,
Yeah.
Well, you and I both love him from Man Down, obviously, and some of the things that we've seen. Beef and Dairy podcast, and I think he's got a few other podcasts that he does. But, the character he plays in Man Down is very, very like him, isn't it? Maybe a little bit more angry, but yeah.
Oh, a lot more angry, yes. But I think the fact that he showed up in his, little jacket and tie, middle school math teacher.
Yeah, he's being Brian.
Get up.
Brian.
Or Ted, it kind of sets the tone. Yeah. So Sarah, she panicked on the way into the studio and stole a road closed sign. But evidently Channel 4 wouldn't allow that as it's theft.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that, they're quite heavy.
Yeah. Well, it also might have just been a good story to tell, they're comedians,
story.
That's what they do. So instead, she stole a different item, the mini fridge from her dressing room.
I hope she emptied it first. And as in drinking all the stuff that was in it.
Oh, I mean, but that's an even better prize if it comes full. But of course, they had to put it back anyway. So maybe at least they got the contents.
Maybe.
So, points. Yes, Charlotte got 1. Jamali 2. Sarah got 3 for her fridge. Lee got 4. And of course, Mike got 5 for his original tune.
As soon as he started singing, I shouted 5 points at the top of my voice.
I mean, it had to be. It had to be. Nobody could compete with that.
So then, task 1. There you go.
I think we should talk about the new theme for the house first before we get into the task.
Okay.
The art.
Yeah.
Because we saw little bits of it in some of the marketing and stuff like that. But it's pretty fucking cool. Seeing Comrade Greg
Soviet
up on the wall.
Stuff, innit? Soviet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got a little model of a rocket. We've seen some Russian dolls. Or are there other names for those? We had this discussion before.
Yeah, Matryoshka or something. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but
and of course
like
the artwork, which is what you've already mentioned, Comrade Greg. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Someone on Reddit, a Russian person, has felt the obligation to translate it. So it says, "Taskmaster, tasks are our duty," or if translated literally, "the creator of tasks, tasks are our responsibility." There you go.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
So, yeah, the task. On to the task. Go ahead. You do something.
You do something, yeah. You do something rather than show up and talk shit. Task 1. Do the most impressive thing onto this table with one hand. You must be looking at the camera and waving with the other hand throughout. They had 15 minutes to prepare and 1 minute to do their impressive thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a bit like that, rub your tummy and pat your head at the same time.
I would fail miserably.
You could see some of them were really struggling.
Yeah.
I couldn't even think of something I would be able to do with my hand. I'm like, what can I do? I mean, I can crack eggs one-handed. That's not impressive. I don't know.
I think I would have failed. I was trying to wave at the telly and do something else with my hand at the same time, and I was like, I would totally fail at that. That would be rubbish. But I think it's funny that a lot of them chose to use the same expression. All of them except Mike, I think, where it was that scared kind of half smile, eyes really wide open stare into the camera as well. Whereas Mike was a little bit more relaxed looking. But yeah, it was unnerving.
Yeah, I don't know if that was just like a mix of stress and trying to concentrate and fear. I don't know, anxiety.
Yeah.
All of the above.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
stuff.
what impressive thing I would. I don't think anything I do is particularly impressive. I can cook, but yeah, you wouldn't do that under a table in a minute, would you?
Yeah, no, not anything good, as Lee demonstrated.
Yeah.
And we do have to talk about Lee's fabulous Evel Knievel jacket.
It's cool.
I mean, that is just fantastic. As soon as he saw it, I was like, Viva Knievel, there we go.
I think Lee was quieter than I expected in the first episode. You know, how shouty and stuff he is on Would I Lie to You, and, not disruptive, like argumentative. So I'm expecting that to ramp up as it goes on, and there'll be full scale shouting at the Taskmaster by the end. So yeah. I'm sure we'll see that.
I'm sure. I don't think he can help himself.
No,
so
he's just getting settled, I think. Just happy to be at the house.
Yeah, so Lee attempted to make a feast.
What was the feast going to be, though? It was going to be a banana sandwich.
Yeah. That's hardly a feast. And a Diet Coke? I'm sorry, but Diet Soda is not a feast.
Banana sandwiches are good, though.
Yeah, but I mean, he just, forget it. Everything was on the floor. So we turned up a plate of like mashed bread. There may have been some banana mixed in with it, and half the Diet Coke flooded all over the.
Yeah, what he did was make an impressive mess. So yeah, it was a nice attempt, a nice idea. Like Greg said, nice idea, poor execution. Something like that.
And then Sarah, we see waving, looking. I mean, she looked truly pained while she was doing that. But they didn't show us what she was doing at first, only to reveal that she had given little Alex Horn a makeover.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a good idea.
Yeah, it was a nice idea. I mean, Alex he'll do anything for the show, really, won't he? So, like, crouching under a table, having makeup put on him by a woman that's not looking at him, yeah. That's probably one of the nicer things that he's done in the name of Taskmaster, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, that's mild. But like Greg said, I mean, humiliating Alex is always going to get you points, so it didn't even matter if it was a good effort.
I don't think he was particularly humiliated. I think he enjoyed it. The naughty little boy.
Charlotte decided she was going to teach herself the coin walk over her knuckles, which honestly she did better than I think I would have with that short amount of time, because she actually did get it to go over a couple of her fingers.
Yeah,
but
I've never tried to do that either, but again, I'm not particularly good at shit like that. I can do the similar thing with a pen or whatever, but I've never tried it with a £2 coin, I think it was.
Yeah,
good attempt,
what did Alex say? It takes something like 15 hours or something to master that.
Like how he found that out, I don't know. I mean, did he test it himself? Probably. He probably did. You know, him and a group of friends took the average.
Maybe. Or, I mean, there's probably, everything's on Wikipedia, who the hell knows?
Maybe. Yeah, but Wikipedia is just nonsense, isn't it? It's rubbish.
Well,
some of it's true, but you know, it's not a resource.
It's not verified. It's not, yeah. I mean, you've got to check the sources, but anyway. Yeah.
Check your
Talking about
sources,
bibliographies next. Check your
don't
sources.
quote it,
Hey,
kids.
that's life advice. Always check your sources, especially in this fucking day and age. Jamali spun a cushion, but he did it on the hand of the little figure maquette thing there, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I think I was with Greg. I was like, it's not that impressive. But then when you try and do it, I was like, oh yeah, it's quite hard.
Yeah, it is. You got to have the right kind of cushion too. Like, you know, anything too. Yeah, I used to be able to do a basketball when I was a kid,
I can do.
but I can't. I don't think I can do it anymore.
But like, obviously, we know that Greg attempted it later on. But his pillow looked quite soft and, you know, well used, whereas Jamali's looked a bit more firm, you know. So I think
it's really like you got to go
really fast
right into it in speed because you can't just fuck around. You've got to get that speed going right away. You got to be confident.
I bet he knows how to
Confidence
do it
is
now.
key.
I bet he knows how to do it now. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, yeah, but that was awesome. And then Wozniak came in and I did recognize it as the Taskmaster theme.
Yeah.
I knew that's what it was on a balalaika, which is
I don't know what
Russian
that was.
stringed instrument.
I didn't know what I didn't know what a balalaika was, to be honest. But, well, obviously I could see it, but I'd never heard of that term before.
So I assumed they had it somewhere in the house going along with the theme. But Greg said he wouldn't have even been surprised if someone told him that Mike had showed up with his own balalaika.
I reckon everywhere Mike goes, he's got a suitcase full of stuff. Just mad things that he just, in case he needs them, you know. Like a colander, a skipping rope, you know, block of cheese. Things you might need in an emergency. I don't know. Balalaika.
I think everyone should have emergency cheese on them. It's, you know.
Well, actually, I'll take back the thing about the cheese because we know he didn't have any with him because he pointed that out in a later task. Unless he'd already had a cheese emergency at that point, perhaps.
Yeah. Used up all his emergency cheese.
So he had to get Alex's emergency cheese. But we're jumping ahead here now.
So it was basically, was it Lee that said it sounded like a horror film in the Kremlin?
It reminded me of
when he played
the Toothless Goon song that Rod did in Series 7.
Okay.
You know, where they were supposed to tell a story in like so many words and he went way over. Or they were doing a song or something. That was the song one, wasn't it? And he did the story about the little girl selling matches and the Toothless Goon. Yeah, it's imprinted on my brain. That's what it reminded me of. So yeah. Points. Anyway, Greg was not impressed with the cushion spinning, and he gave Jamali 2 points, as well as Charlotte 2 points. Lee Mack, for his rubbish feast, got 3 points. Sarah got 4 points for humiliating Alex, and obviously Mike with the musical effort again, he got 5 points.
Yeah, I mean, I love when Alex was like, "You really think that Lee's feast was better than the spinning the cushion?" Because at that point, Greg still wasn't that impressed by the cushion spin. So. That was when he, like we said, bonus point if for Jamali if Greg couldn't spin a cushion,
which we now know. Which we now know that he can't spin a cushion.
Yes,
in 3 attempts on telly in front of people.
In 3 attempts, yes.
Okay.
All right. So then we are outside and we see pest control, which sees the return of the red-green. So we got little baby ROUS, rodent of unusual size there. Comes.
Did you make that
rolling
up?
out with the task.
Is that one of your?
Have you never see? This is when I get mad. You've never seen The Princess Bride, huh?
No, what's that?
It's like one of the greatest movies ever.
It sounds like something I wouldn't enjoy, though. Is it like romantic?
No, it's one of the funniest movies.
Is it
like ever? It's hilarious.
What is it about? A princess that gets married.
Sort of, but there's adventure. It's just no. But it's not a romantic story. It's a comedy, and it's Christopher Guest and Andre the Giant and Carrie Elwes.
I like Andre the Giant.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's one of I still can't believe you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen
floored.
it.
And it's funny because
How old is it?
It's old.
When was it made?
I mean, in the late 80s, 87 maybe? I don't know.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's not. It's fine. I haven't seen it. I'll watch it.
Yeah, 1987.
If I see it somewhere, I might watch it.
Putting that on your list.
You know this list that you've made for me, I'll never look at it.
I know. But I knew when I typed in my notes, baby ROUS, and I'm like, she's not going to know what the fuck that means.
I don't know.
And it's going to
what
piss
that
me
means.
off.
Like,
It's
baby
you'll see.
Rat of...
It's a rodent of unusual size because these giant rodents in the fire swamp that attack.
Fire swamp?
Yeah. The fire swamp.
How can it be a swamp and be on fire?
There's these fires that come up from the ground. And you hear.
I like the farting bog of the labyrinth. I like that film.
You would love The Princess Bride.
No, you're just saying that to
telling
me to
you,
try and trick me
so
into
good.
watching it.
No,
I know you.
People. All right,
you.
we're gonna. I want to hear this on Twitter. You need to tell her she needs to watch the fucking Princess Bride.
The fucking
because
Princess
it's like
Bride.
a
Is
travesty.
that the porn version?
Yeah,
That's after the wedding, is it?
it's amazing. It's fucking amazing. Anyway, so catch the rat.
Catch the rat.
Most ingenious catching of the rat wins.
Yeah.
You must be at least 3 meters from the rat when you catch it. The rat will run over the red green in 30 minutes.
So Charlotte was terrified of the remote control rat.
Yeah.
Which whoever was controlling it took full advantage of.
Of course.
I guess it would have been
how
Alex
could you not?
hiding behind the bush with the rat controls, maybe. I don't know. Oh, Richard Herring, maybe. Still in that bush.
They've never allowed him to leave.
Yeah, no, they tried. It's like Al Murray. He's in the hedge somewhere as well. Just pops out every now and then.
Oh man.
Anyway,
I'll tell you, there was I don't even want to get into it.
But we're going to talk about rats now.
Yeah, I was going to talk about rats, but I'm like, let me not.
No. Let's not. We put some people off.
So Sarah and Lee, they both kind of went with a similar approach, prop the bathtub.
Yeah.
Which was,
classic mousetrap training, that one. The game mousetrap.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's, the box propped with a stick.
Yeah.
And then
Pull the
Sarah
stick.
went straight forward and just yanked the stick and the string, and
Yep. Lee was a
she
bit more
used
elaborate.
a peanut butter bait.
Yeah.
I love that she used an actual peanut butter bait, for the remote control rat.
Now, I do know that rats like peanut butter because my dad told me that.
Yeah, that's what I used on the rat traps out here, which was going to be part of my other story, but we're just not going to go there.
I don't want to hear about you murdering animals. Knowing you lot, you probably put them on a barbecue as well after.
Ew.
Anyway, she used peanut butter in her trap.
This
Yes.
isn't Louisiana. Sorry. Okay. So she used peanut butter as a bait and then, yanked the string out. Boom. Went down. Done.
Straight to it.
But Lee complicated his a little bit more. He used cheese bait, which was actually a ball.
A tennis ball, yeah.
But then I didn't quite understand. He wanted it to be a little more involved than it was, so he stole the ball and made it go down. But he didn't actually hit the ball. He just hit the other contraption and made it. So that was all for nothing.
Yeah, it was just for sure.
Yeah, but it didn't really.
You weren't
It
impressed.
didn't add anything
Weren't
to
impressed.
it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not the. But he could have just left the ball and just whacked the thing.
Okay.
That whole bit was.
What would you have done in that situation?
I probably would have done what Sarah did, even though it's not particularly ingenious.
Well, my immediate thought was to get something attached to the red green to lift it up, kind of like what Mike did, but he used a net. Whereas I was like, I would get something around that and
Yeah,
that would be
and
cool.
just hoist it up.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I don't know how I'd make that
So,
work.
yeah.
I mean, I am an engineer, but I don't know how it would work. I'd have to have a look in the shed.
Yeah,
I'd have to have a look in
it's
the
like,
shed.
what's in the
and see what
shed?
was there.
It's like, do we have a pulley? Can I get a crane? I've only got,
Yeah.
30 minutes.
No, I would make a right mess.
Well, like Jamali, I think he
Bless him.
he just started propping sticks up and doing, and I don't think he actually had a plan. Like, he had a vision, but had no way to execute it.
I think maybe he was going to have something like a net or something across the top of those props he was making. And then when the rat came in, he was going to magically make it fall on top of it or something. But yeah, it didn't quite work out. He should have made a plan. like a drawing.
Yeah.
Which is what I thought Charlotte was doing when she started drawing on hers. I thought, oh, she's making a plan. Yeah. She didn't.
And yeah, we said like Mike spread the net out, and that was smart. He tied the ropes, at different points, and then just yanked it. It didn't completely go to plan, but in the end, the rat still got caught up and flipped over, so it couldn't get away.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing with the bucket. I think he thought that it might go into the bucket, and that would have been extra impressive. So maybe we would have got him an extra point or so. I don't know. But it worked anyway. It was good. And he even had camouflage, which just added to it. He had tree camouflage to hide behind the bin. At least he hid behind the green bin, I think. And a brown one. Tree colours.
I mean, I just love Jamali was just like, you got green screen, right? It's like, there's no green screen here. What do you? And Alex was just like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he said we can edit that out. So he said, edit out my hand. So they did and left the rest of them in. Which is just classic Taskmaster.
I mean, it was fucking great. Fucking great. And then, Charlotte, like, she had a good idea. Yeah. Like Greg said, I mean, it was great. And she conquered her fear. Even though it was a fake rat, she was still afraid of it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty brave, getting under there and having it run over her.
Yeah. She
even matched the gloves. She used red gloves to camouflage herself. And but yeah, she forgot the
3 meters
point that she needed to be 3 meters away. 3 meters away. Yeah. Very important.
But
so, points.
Yeah. So, well, they didn't give Charlotte any points because of the 3 meter rule, which I think is a bit harsh when you consider that they gave Jamali a point, even though he was right next to the rat as well. But yeah, so Jamali got 1 point. Mike and Sarah both got 3 points, and Lee with his cricket bat contraption 5 points.
All right. Now this next one was great, and now so they're outside. I wonder if this is going to be one of our regular locations now, outside the airplane hangar with the jet.
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw little clips of this in the cast reveal, because I remember seeing Lee on his bike with his Evel Knievel cape and stuff. But yeah,
and Mike on the hoverboard. I mean, that was like the best. Just that kind of squat position he was taking,
and his face as well.
Glorious.
When he had all the plates at the end, and he was going really slow. His eyes were darting from side to side.
Because those hoverboards, I mean, like once you get used to them,
have you had a go on?
But it's like you've got, I have good balance. I actually do for a fat ass like myself.
Low center of gravity, mate.
Well, you have to stand up straight, and then it's your shift of weight that makes it move. So the fact that he was like kind of bent over that's why it wasn't really going.
Okay.
And if he had just kind of stood up and leaned a little bit, it would have.
Yeah, but that would have been a disaster as well, I think.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably would have done the bike and just held them in one hand. Jamali's idea to bundle them up wasn't a bad idea. He just executed it poorly.
Yeah.
Because I thought that would have been a good way to I was getting my Girl Scout brain. I was like, all right, wrap them up, tie it, and I could probably get them all in one shot.
Yeah. I think I would have been tempted to use the hoverboard as well, and I probably would have just fell on me. On my ass and smashed them all up. But yeah, someone had to do it. So
yeah, I mean,
what we have?
Jamali smashed 9 plates.
Yeah, he smashed the whole table full of plates. It was 18 plates.
He was just shitting total. Plates as he went. It was just like they were just dropping out.
We didn't even read out what the task was. We're talking about Mike and his hoverboard. So it was deliver all the plates to Alex. When carrying the plates, you must travel by scooter or bicycle or hoverboard. Every fallen or broken plate adds 20 minutes to the time. They had 3 minutes to test out the scooter, bicycle, and hoverboard, and there was 18 plates. Yeah. So the plates were split over 2 tables.
I know, we just got right into it. We got excited. I
know, because it was so funny though. It was brilliant. That's one of those moments that I think everyone will always remember, like Mike going super slow with his face. I love it, honestly. It's so good. So someone's already made it a screensaver on their laptop, and I think I might do the same.
So good.
He's just so comical. I love him. Anyway.
But yeah, so Jamali went first, and like I said, he had a good idea bundling them up, but he just poorly executed. He wasn't careful enough, and He did a little better on the second round. Like you say, he delivered 1 table of plates. So, Charlotte took a more careful approach, but you know, being that it's timed, careful is
yeah, but she had a lovely time.
Yeah,
she was going
wee woo. Hey. In the beginning, when Greg was like, "Are you an only child?" No.
Watching her scooting around on that made me want one. I was turning to my husband. I was like, "Do you think you can use those on the road? How fast do we go?" And he was like, "Just stop." You're almost 40-year-old. Behave yourself.
Oh my god.
Who was next? I don't even know the order they went in.
Well, Lee, and he did similar to Jamali. He made a bundle, and he got there in the end, but then he dropped them right off. Yeah. But we'll get to that part. But yeah, I mean, he got them all in one shot.
Yeah,
which was smart. And but then he asked if he could get a bonus point if he could juggle 3, and he could not.
No. But you know, I think he just wanted to smash them. There was just a part of him that wanted to smash some plates. And he thought,
yeah, I mean, he'd already gotten there, so what the hell? There was nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. And then Mike.
Sarah
on her bike. Yeah. Yeah, she took a very careful, measured approach as well, didn't she? She just got on with it.
Yeah, I think that was smart with the bike, and because you could just carry them securely with one arm and you could still steer. I love when she delivered the first batch and she's like, "Am I doing this wrong?" Because it was just easy. She's like, I feel like I'm missing something.
Yeah.
You know, life is for living, as she says.
Yeah, I don't know how many trips she did, but the last one she kind of threw caution to the wind and picked up more plates than she had on the other runs, and that's what prompted that celebration.
Yeah, I think she just realized it was easy, and if this was the whole task, I'm good. Yeah. I think that was her kind of thought, like, okay.
Yeah, it's just as well everyone didn't choose the bike, innit? But that's the beauty of Taskmaster. So.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody chose the easiest one, like, what fun is that? It is for entertainment purposes, after all.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Mike had the added hassle of that it started pissing down rain on him. Like, it wasn't even just a sprinkle. It was really coming down. He was shaking the water off each plate as he stacked them.
Yeah, well, and that's where the name for the episode came from, because he was soaking wet and told Alex it wasn't Alex's fault.
It's not your fault.
Yeah, but I mean, we've already spoken about the hoverboard thing, but it was brilliant, man. And
yeah.
And I enjoyed seeing him go around doing a little lap on the bicycle again, because one of my favourite parts of Man Down that I always enjoy is when he goes out on his racer with Dan, and then you see him, like, Dan's at his door winding him up saying, "Oh, you've got a shit bike anyway, and he won't come out," and all that. And then you see Mike in the next scene on his racer spinning out in front of Greg on his chopper, smiling and looking dead smug and that. It's one of my favourite bits, honestly. Anyway, back to Man Down again.
So much. Yes.
If you haven't seen it, watch it. Especially if you're one of Mike's new thirsty fans. He wears some really short shorts in some of the scenes that you might enjoy.
Oh, those shorts. Oh my god.
He does his car washing scene. There's one in the bath. There's, I'm trying to think. Oh, there's another one in Hitler's bunker as well.
Best show.
Yeah, there's a few. I mean, ever. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
I like Mike, but not in that way. So I don't know if those are things that you would enjoy. Tara might be able to enlighten you.
Not particularly, no. I don't find him attractive as Brian, a little too uptight. It's outside of that I find him attractive.
Yeah.
I'm not into the uptight, stick in the ass kind of.
Hey, come on, yeah. Brian's just trying to make do, and he's got some crazy friends. He's a brilliant character.
All right, so points.
Yeah, we could talk about Man Down for a whole episode.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a bonus podcast. We'll just do like a 1-episode podcast where we go through Man Down.
It wouldn't be one episode. That could be. That'd be loads. Anyway, points. Okay, you do the points.
All right, so Jamali got 1 point, obviously, because he smashed half the plates.
188 minutes.
Yep. Charlotte got 2 points because she was 5 minutes 12.
Yep.
Wozniak got 3 points for 3 minutes, 2 seconds. Sarah got 2 minutes, 29, so 4 points. And then they decided that because Lee made it before, he had all the plates on the table and then broke them after, he did win. 1 minute, 20 seconds, 5 points. And Greg left that decision up to Alex. It was a judgment call. And
history-making moment.
I know. Don't let it go to your head, little Alex. It's not going to happen again.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Well, that's true. And then this is the point where Greg took his 3 attempts to
his cushion
spin
challenge.
the cushion. And I think you could see in his face, like after the first attempt, he was like, oh this
fuck.
is not going to happen. I should have kept my big mouth shut. No. So Jamali won his bonus point there.
Yep.
And then, so we get into the live task.
I didn't write anything down apart from chaos. So you'll have to,
right,
read it out. I know it was make the buckets higher than you, then put a beanbag on top, right?
Yeah, stack your buckets so they are taller than you. Then put 1 beanbag on top of the buckets. You may not leave your spot at any point. Fastest wins, hands on your hips for 2 seconds. So your tower had to stand for 2 full seconds. And if it fell, it was fine.
Yeah.
It started off reasonably enough, and then Jamali started tossing bean bags, and it just everything fell apart from there.
Because they very cleverly gave them like 5 bean bags, and they only needed 1. So he quite rightly said, "What are the other bean bags for?" And Alex said, "Whatever you want." And so he turned around and started throwing them at everyone else, which I think is awesome. That they're already at that point, and it's only episode 1.
Yeah. So, it was just chaos, but Sarah still managed to get her tower built.
Yeah.
And
who was it who threw the bucket first? Was it Lee?
I don't even know, because Charlotte, she started throwing beanbags too, and then buckets started going everywhere. And then Lee had like 4 different colors he was trying to build with at some point. He had everybody else's buckets.
Yeah. Well, I think
chaos,
Mike almost had it.
Chaos.
And then Jamali threw the first beanbag, and it was just chaos, and all Mike's buckets fell down, and then that was it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and then Charlotte tried putting a couple buckets on her head to see if she could win. She stacked some buckets and they were higher than her, but that's not how this works.
That's what you have to do in Taskmaster, isn't it? So I think was only Sarah got points and no one else.
Yeah, Sarah got 5 points and nobody else. Chaos.
It worked out well, though.
Yeah. So the episode points: Charlotte with 5, Jamali with 7, Lee and Mike are tied with 17, and those 5 points at the end moved Sarah up to win the episode with 18 points.
Yeah.
So there we go. First episode done.
So we had, you put on Twitter asking if anyone had any questions. Did you see Lucas wrote back to us?
I did. And I can read, or do you want to read it? Or
no, you read it out if you put it there. I remembered about it, but I'm not prepared enough to have it in front of me.
I checked while I was kind of waiting, and I saw, I pulled up the screen. I got all my tabs going. I got 2 monitors. I'm like,
wasn't this, man?
Is like Command Central here.
I've got Jesus 1 laptop. Christ. That's it. That's all I've got.
And the new computer's coming this week, so this place is going to look like I don't know what soon.
You better find something to do with all them screens and shit, man. Let me go.
Let's see. So Lucas said, who do you think will come where overall?
Oh.
Before the first episode, I predicted Sarah in first, Mike as a close second, Lee in third, Jamali fourth, and Charlotte fifth, and it looks like that could happen. Who is your favorite contestant so far? For me, it's Charlotte, but they're all great. We do this usually kind of as we go along. We talk about who we think might win, and my early favorite is probably Mike, not just because I love Mike, but I don't know. I just feel like the way he's coming at these tasks could really win him lots of points.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree with you. I love Mike as well, obviously, a big fan. And I would like him to win because I'm a big fan of him. So, yeah. But I think Sarah as well. Sarah probably will do well because she's kind of straightforward and just does the tasks as she sees them in front of them. So that might be a good shout, Lucas. I think Lee will either be third or fourth, because he's said in the interviews before that his kids are massive Taskmaster fans, and he just doesn't want to come last because they will disown him. Charlotte probably going to be last because of the bullying tactics, and Jamali third or fourth. Yeah, I would agree with you, Lucas. I think you're spot on there.
Send us your tweets, emails, whatever, and we'll try and read some of your messages in every episode. We can kind of make it a regular feature, whether it's just a comment or a question for us, question about Taskmaster or someone on Taskmaster. We can try and find an answer for you, like whatever you want. We like when you guys get involved. That's kind of the whole point of this. Otherwise, it's just me and Charlie talking to each other, which we would do anyway.
Yeah.
So... and on that note, that I guess would bring us to Melon Buffet Master.
The third
series. We had Fiona won again.
In the second series,
yeah, so she is our reigning champion. And so we decided, I mean, you guys really went all out last series.
It was great.
But it was
great quality. It
was
awesome.
Fantastic, but it was a lot for us.
Well, it's not just that. We were talking about it and we thought, right, okay, if someone's got a bit more time and they were inclined to do a lot more tasks, then it kind of runs away with it for the rest of the people who might not have as much time. So we're going to be a little bit stricter about how many entries you can do.
Yeah.
Each week.
So going forward, you're going to have a maximum of 2 entries per week. As always, it's going to be the UK prize task. And then one other task of your choice. It can be from the UK show or one of the other shows. Let us know what show it's from if you do from New Zealand or wherever. But each week, that's it. You can do 2. So for the 10 episodes, so there's going to be a maximum of 20 tasks for the series. This way, like Charlie said, if one person decides they're going to do 20 extra tasks, and then they run away with it. And the people who are kind of casually interested and just want to play along, they lose interest or they realize they don't even have a chance, so they just stop entering. So it's just, because it's all in good fun. So we just want to keep everybody interested and we want to keep it fair. So that's how we're going to do that. We could at some point, if we see something interesting, assign a bonus task.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, it's going to be those 2 tasks every week.
Yeah.
The prize task and, potluck.
Yeah. One task of your choosing. I think we'll probably put some rules on ourselves on how we score them as well, just to keep it nice and consistent. So there's only a certain amount of points that we can give out each week. So maybe that's something we should discuss, and we'll let everyone know what that is. Yeah, we can discuss that. It's not like we've had like loads of time to think about it, because we have. We just haven't done anything. Tara's been really good. She's made a... We just do everything. We do everything 10 minutes before we hit the record button. So, and ideally you would get your entries in before the following week, but our schedule is hinky anyway, so we never know when the following week is going to be. We try. We're going to record, so we will allow you... We try, but we will allow you to play catch up, but it's still going to be that maximum. So you're going to have to tell us, all right, these are my entries for episode 1. So right now for episode 1, your prize task is the best thing that you can carry, but only just, you can tell us what it is, but it's always nice if you can do a picture or a link or a video, but that is not so we can visualize necessary. What you're talking about. Yeah. Just have fun with it. It's just a bit of fun. Please remember when you do it on Twitter to use the hashtag #MelonBuffetMaster, because sometimes it gets hard for us to find them if you don't use the hashtag. You can also email them to melonbuffet@gmail.com. We're on Facebook. You can DM us, Instagram or Twitter.
whatever is easiest for you, but especially on Twitter, please use the hashtag because it gets really, really difficult to find them. And that's how we wound up missing and had to go back and resubmit. So, and as always, like if you submit something and then you don't hear us talk about it on the next episode, retweet us again and we'll catch you up. But that's kind of us. And what do we got? I don't really have any news or anything.
No, I didn't look at news either. I mean, we have news. Well, Greg was in the Great Book Weekend yesterday, which we both watched. Mm-hmm. He had a bibliotherapy session, which is something that I'd never heard of before, where someone who knows lots and lots and lots about books, she knows loads. Like, she must, like, her memory is amazing. I can't remember her name. That's how bad my memory is.
I know.
But, yeah, I watched that yesterday, where he was prescribed some books to read to help his mood, shall we say.
And also to read out loud with friends and have
which he said he would like, and it is a nice idea.
Him.
And he's promised to let us know.
I am wondering who.
Oh, it could be anyone.
I'm wondering who the friend.
It might not be a famous friend. It might just be someone that likes commenting. You know, it could be.
Yeah. There was also you had sent me a link. I guess God, it was probably over a week ago. He was on the Breakfast Show with Zoe Ball.
Oh, on the radio.
And he mentioned
him and Alex,
that, on the radio. Yeah, and Greg mentioned that for the first time, he said there were 2 instances where he was like completely gobsmacked, like completely speechless by what these contestants did.
He also said, one of them had said that Mike had gone above and beyond a few times, so God knows what he's done, because I mean, we've all seen what Rod did, and he's saying that whatever's happened this series has made him speechless. You know, I've seen your own mum in the bath wearing a fez.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Whitcomb got a tattoo, for fuck's sake. The man got a tattoo, but this is what has made him speechless. But I'll put links to those interviews. I got to find the book one.
No, there's clips and stuff.
Live, but I know I think it's been put up.
Yeah. There's an outtake as well. You can link the outtake where Greg tells us about another thing that he did. And he was thankfully he embellished and said it was when he was a kid. Have you seen it?
No.
It's something he did when he was in the bath. I'll send you a link. Oh my
God. So yeah, I mean, reach out. We love hearing from you. Send us an email.
Yeah. We got a nice bit of fan mail over the Christmas period, was it? Or like early in the year? From I don't recall the name. You sent it on to me, remember?
Yeah, oh yeah, you know what? Let me pull that up. Hold on.
I'm gonna send you this link to this outtake.
Yeah, it was a lovely email.
I presumed you would have saw it, that's why I've not sent it to you.
You know me, I'm like in my own fucking world sometimes. I don't know what's going on. Hold on. This is going to be...
It was on Instagram and stuff.
Let's see. Get our little
there you go.
And email. Roland, that's who it was. So yeah, we got a nice email from listener Roland saying that he had recently found our podcast. This was early March he sent it. And because he's new, I guess, to Taskmaster because he didn't have Dave channel. So he started binging it Roland. Now. And yeah, we're glad to have you here.
Welcome to the cult that is Taskmaster. And thanks for taking the time to send us an email. It was really nice.
He mentioned one of his favorite moments because he was listening to the series with Joe Brand, and I guess we had brought up, and she was judging that show Splash, and he shared a link about Omid Jalili, who's pretty funny, and I think he would be pretty fucking funny on Taskmaster.
Yeah,
actually.
He'd be awesome. He'd be brilliant.
So yeah, thanks for reaching out, Roland, and hope you're still listening. We're glad to have you here, and so send us an email. Anybody else wants to say hi? or if anything interesting you think we should talk about, news articles you see about the cast, even from past seasons, because, we like to report on what everybody's doing,
series.
What people are up to. Yes, series.
Series. Come on. God. It's a British program.
Yes, I know, but it's hard for me to have to go back and forth.
So many people say season, so anyway.
So I guess that is us out for this episode. And we'll be back next week.
Yep.
All right. Oh, wait, I got our outro music. We're doing this hardcore here. Hopefully I don't have it too loud. Ready? And so we'll see ya.
Bye. That's the first time I've heard that. Because I do not listen to our own fucking podcast. Right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to press stop.